I've been a go-getter. I've been doing the ones and twos.
Yeah.
You can't expect me to do this shift. Let me make this shift to say like, all right, you know what? I'm not saying you don't mean that much to me and stuff like that, but I'm looking like, when I feel like my world's gonna slow down and stuff like that, then I'll be like, yeah, if you're still here, extra bonus. I appreciate you and stuff, whatever, right?
Right.
But I'm looking like, I'm out here making this money, and I think it will hurt too. Like, you're out here making all this money and stuff, whatever. And be like, I've lost love for you, but I'm gonna take half of your money with you because you weren't home and stuff, and I was lonely. But I met Chad, the pool guy.
Yeah.
The Podical sound.
Podcast, you can't win. Talking a good game, you can't win. Topics never lame, you can't win. Win.
Not your average Joseph. Marvelous.
It's ridiculously funny, but funny.
What's up, y'all? Marvelous.
And I'm not your average Joseph.
And we are the Podical Sons. Let's start this show. This show is about stuff that we talk about to be hilariously inappropriate, intellectual beyond belief. You rocking with the best, the Kings of the North.
Kings of the North.
Your black Uncle Ira. If you know, you know. Let's start the show, man. So what brought you joy this week, man?
What brought me joy this week?
Yes, I'm going to continue to ask you because the times are going to get darker, and I think people need to start focusing on the joy, the bright things and stuff. Because meanwhile, the times are going to get darker and darker.
Mm-hmm.
We focus so easy on the negative. Remember the time when I asked you, you drew a blank.
Just
like, I'm like,
I tried to
were
find
you a
something
vegetable
positive.
all week? Like, nah. Like, you gotta live something, man. What brought you joy this week, man?
One of the interviews that I've been trying to line up for, I want to say maybe about a year and a half. I've been really trying to line up this interview. Came into fruition. So
Okay.
yeah.
Gotcha.
It brought me joy to see that we finally locked in and that it's gonna happen.
Okay.
Big things.
Yeah.
What brought you joy, man?
For me, definitely connecting with friends. I think this week was kind of like one of those friendship weeks and stuff, whatever. I kind of realized that like last week, because of traditional family New Year's brunch / dinner and all that type of stuff and everything.
Right.
And then going to see family member in the hospital and stuff. I feel like last week was more, or the week before was more family orientated.
Right.
And then this week was more friend orientated. So I got to catch up with my peoples and stuff like that and see them. And then, then we shared some stories and some photos and saw a photo of me at like, I think 21.
Age 21.
Yeah, I don't even think I even have this photo and stuff, whatever, because I had a external drive.
Right.
And the bitch just crashed on me.
Mm.
And it had the photos and
Okay.
stuff like that on there or whatever, right? And I was looking, I was like, damn. We like, yo.
I actually ran across a photo just doing some cleanup work on the computer last week.
Okay.
And this was a photo. Shout out to Ben Dillinger. He took when we were outside of the parking lot in front of the condo.
Oh, yeah, with the graffiti and
with
everything.
the graffiti and everything.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yes, I was like, damn, Marvin got no beard, haircut low.
No, yeah.
Yeah, no, right. You had the baby face.
Yeah, oh, okay. Yeah, because I remember like it was something like that. Because around that time, I think I probably just started saying I was going to grow the beard.
Right.
And yeah, because I was like in between, but it wasn't wolfing.
No, it wasn't wolfing.
No, it wasn't wolfing and stuff.
Wasn't
But I think I like started just letting it wolf out and stuff. I think like in 2021, and then I guess I've arrived since.
You already? You arrived a few times because you had to cut it a couple times. So you know what I mean. You arrived a few times.
Yeah. It's just like. Just happy to be alive and just enjoying those photos and the time. Because I think like the time,
right.
I think some people haven't made peace with aging.
Yeah.
Because even like with the friends and stuff, whatever, right? I'm hearing one friend like, I'm plucking my gray hairs. I was like, damn, for real?
Wow.
It's like that.
I got too many to pluck.
Yo, and then like, I was proud of like, I have like a shadow one somewhere on this side.
Right.
It's somewhere over here and everything. Somebody's like, nah, it's just hair grease, your hair's shining. So I was like, whatever, clever. But yeah, like, I've I've been made. Dove, love the skin you're in. That's free plug.
Of course. I have a question for you.
Go ahead.
Now that you've, grown and spent a good amount of time with the beard, do you ever see yourself going back beardless?
My people around me won't allow me
Won't
to.
allow-
Because I say that because it's so funny where I think I've grown so used to it now
Right.
for myself. So it's like, I think if I'm to like cut it and then like just do like one, because these are one of my pondering thoughts.
Yeah.
So I'll do one of these. But I think if I have like just touching face instantaneously, if I do that,
Yeah.
I think, I might feel a little sad. But then I remember it was my mom. My mom, she savage. Like, I'm minding my business and stuff, whatever. And then November, like, I would go home in the past and I just would grow out my beard because I always had a goatee or mustache.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, for November, I'll grow it out and stuff, whatever. Prostate cancer awareness, because, my pops, Uncle Jeff,
Yeah.
People who we know they got touched with prostate cancer. And my mom was like, anytime I see her at Thanksgiving, she's like, yes, this is the time you come home when you look like a man. What the fuck did I look like before? Caitlyn Jenner? Like, I don't understand. And she's like, yeah, man. She's like, you just grow out the beard and whatever. And then it never clicked to me until it did. And I was like, all right, fuck it. And then I was like, oh, okay. And then the harlots start coming out.
The harlots started coming around?
Like the ladies start coming out the sewers. Like, the priests come out at night.
Here's this distinguished
The
man.
priests come out at night. Because when I realized that what it was Cool Man Winter.
Right.
That episode.
Right.
It was just a nice photo to me.
Mhm.
And I was like, oh, you suave motherfucker. You. I was like, what?
Yo, it's funny. The reason why I asked, because shout out to the Zua bracelets. Jay posted a photo of him in his old basketball days when he went to Humber College and playing ball.
Okay.
And his face was smooth like a baby's bottle. And I was like,
Word.
So yeah, I said, yo, Jay, I can't even recall. This is like, yo, bro, like, is that you? Because I've been seeing you with the beard for so long that it's hard to picture you now without the beard. And I'm like, looking at that photo just brought me back to the high school days when we barely had the little curly growing underneath our chin. You know what I mean?
You had peach fuzz.
Right.
Basically.
He was laughing back and said, yeah, I know. It's like, it looks weird. I was like,
I don't know. Like, I dig those moments, though, because I look at it stuff as where I remember 11th grade, my 11th grade year, I went to prom. I'm a prom veteran, by the way, damn it.
Yeah,
Proud of my... That's when the call to greatness is not really significant, but it's damn good to say it, whatever. Like, I always look at... I went... Out of my 4 years in high school, I went to prom 3 years, right?
3 years.
So, but in my 11th grade year, that's when Cameron came out with the whole old boy, and Cam had his, like, a chin strap.
Yeah.
So to speak.
Yeah.
So he had his chin strap and stuff for that. I was like, but then he had the little goatee piece to connect, and I couldn't grow that part at that time.
That part, no.
So I was like, I had to start it with a chin strap and stuff, whatever. But nevertheless, I seen that photo and I was dying. I was like, that was a struggle to grow that in high school.
Just to grow that in high school.
I'm a grown ass man and stuff, whatever.
Right.
I want to say in 1 month, I'm probably like a decent level with this now. So yeah.
Yeah. I remember scraping out my peach fuzz with the razor, trying to get that. I always heard that myth that no, shave it, it'll grow in fuller. So I tried it a few times, to just.
And what do you think about that?
See if it would work.
You think it worked?
Nah, it didn't work for me, man.
It didn't work, man. Don't worry.
It didn't
talking
work.
shit.
Yeah.
Because I remember, like, see, I always look at it stuff is that we're not the same men as we once were. You're like, oh, men are men. No, the fuck we're not. I'll tell you why.
Right.
For the life and death of me, I can't grow one of those 1970 porn star mustaches.
No.
Can't. Can you? Like,
I've never
about,
tried.
like, your pops had one.
My pops had one.
Cause you like just try it. Just try.
My pops had one.
Give it for a month.
Yeah.
Don't even trim your mustache your mustache area. Just let it wolf for a month.
All right.
It won't happen. Like,
Okay.
I tried for the lungs. I was like, yo, what's going on? And I seen some photos of like my pops. And I'm like, You had it too? And I was like,
He
they
had
don't
one.
make men like they used to.
He
So
had
I
one.
always use that as a test to say, like, yo, you are what you fucking eat.
Yeah. Mhm.
Because I look at it stuff as where, and with the whole autism stuff as well, I'm looking like, yo, and autism cases and stuff way back when was like probably like 1 in 1,000 or something like that.
Right.
Now they're like 1 in 4.
Well, I was even saying that with like allergies. Yeah, when I was growing up, it's like very rare that you had somebody that had like a peanut allergy. Now
and peanut
it's
allergy
like,
is different.
yeah.
Be like, I had a coworker and stuff, and he was telling me the other day, because I like to have like little, I don't know how to say this properly.
How to say it probably. Choose your word wisely.
Yeah, they are. Ooh, okay, cashews and almonds. I was gonna get loosely with a 3-letter word. So I like to have cashews and almonds kind of like on standby, because let's say if it's getting to a later part in the night,
right,
and I'm not gonna eat heavy, I'll just like chomp on the cashews
or the almonds.
See, you have to think before you speak. So I like, chomp on those, and then to kind of just, call it a day. Now, what I realized and stuff is that one coworker was telling me, he's like, yeah, he's allergic to, he has a nut allergy.
Yeah, he has a nut allergy.
I'm like, nothing to do with me. He has the nut allergy.
Right.
And he's like, yeah, like, I was like, oh, damn, I keep almonds in my car. So I'm like, I can't really offer you a ride, because sometimes when I'm like in traffic, I'll just chomp on some almonds, not the 4-letter word. Right. But I was like, shit, we had an epidemic boom, because when I was in grade school, that wasn't nowhere around.
No.
And then another coworker was talking about how I think bringing in a cake for work,
right,
was a thing and stuff like they have to be conscious about like nut allergies and everything like that with people. I'm like, oh shit, absolutely right. Because we had a baby shower for a coworker this week.
Yeah.
And then we were talking about cakes.
Okay.
So they're like, oh, we got to go with a nut-free cake. I'm like, why the fuck for? And then one guy's like, sorry. I have a peanut allergy.
Me over here.
And I was like, oh, I'm so sorry for saying that. Whatever. I was like, ain't no damn carrot cake, walnuts in there. But yeah, the world we live in is different, man.
It is.
And we're built kind of different now. But I'm not mad at that. You ready to get to the polls?
I'm ready, man.
Let's talk about these polls this week. All right. So first poll of the week was, which is worse? And your choices were getting rejected for your looks and getting rejected for your personality. What you got?
I think getting rejected for your personality.
I would think so too.
Yeah.
I would say personality and stuff, whatever. It's actually 58% said get rejected for your looks. Why do you think they would say looks? Tell me, why would you think?
Because you're vain. No, I'm joking.
You're not wrong.
There's a truth to every joke.
Well, I mean, we live in a world of like pretty privilege.
Right.
Pretty privilege is real, right?
We
can agree to that.
I can agree to that.
So I look at it stuff as where the standards are pretty, or like beauty and glamour, I want to say is pretty much been kind of constant throughout time.
Yeah.
So far. But I think like personality and stuff is like, if you have the looks and you still not, okay, let's say securing the lady or securing a bag.
Right.
Your personality is shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just feel like personality, you ever run into one of those beautiful looking women and their personality is so garbage? That
all the time.
Yeah,
man.
it's like, you're like, damn, you look good as hell.
Yeah.
Be like, damn, no wonder niggas use you and leave you to the side.
And I've been around, women who are not the beauty queens, you know what I mean? But
the personality is winning.
Just hanging around them is like so refreshing.
Oh my gosh.
So refreshing.
Story time.
Okay, story time. We're here.
There's a lady, and I hope she doesn't hear this, but some people know. If you know, you know. So I guess, I don't know if I shared this story with you before. So this lady, She's not really a looker.
Yeah.
Body type, A and all the above. However, she has this warm heart
Right.
and she loves dick.
Yeah.
And she creates an ambiance of a type of world where it feels like Hansel and Gretel to men.
Right. It's inviting.
Her apartment is straight Hansel and Gretel.
Oh, shit.
On her table, coffee table, she has a bowl of weed.
Oh, shit.
With like papers next to the bowl. She has classic Nintendo, classic Super Nintendo. Yeah, you see? She has a fridge, like a little mini bar fridge standby.
Right.
And there's alcoholic beverages in there.
Right.
As well.
Right.
And there's even
She's a great host.
Excellent, immaculate host.
Okay.
Immaculate. Excellent, immaculate.
Right.
She's like, she said this to a friend tonight. She's like, you guys are hungry? Like, what do you desire? What do you really want?
Right, yeah.
My friend, he cracked a joke. He's like, go for a lobster. She's like, let me see if I can get a lobster on Uber Eats. I was like, hey, yo. I said to him, I was like, we gotta go. We have to go. If we don't go,
the doors are gonna lock.
The doors are gonna close. And we're gonna have to explain why we did what we're going to do.
Right.
And she's not a stranger to it. She's like, yo, like, 2 guys on me?
Yeah.
That's her fantasy.
This is
her thing.
This is it.
So
This is the setup right here.
Right. So I was like, no, we have to leave. And he's like, yeah. I was like, but I want a lobster. I was like, that's the point.
He's already Hansel right now.
Yo,
he's already Hansel.
He's caught, man. He's caught. I was like, yeah, I was Gretel. I was the bitch. I was the girl. I was like, we gotta go.
Yo,
I feel danger.
You know that reminds me of? I don't know if you ever have seen the it's the Witch Line or Wardrobe?
The Narnia.
The Narnia.
Okay.
When she picks up the boy and
the brother that got lost, the wild one.
Yeah.
She's giving candy.
And she's like, Turkish sweets.
Yo.
He's like, yeah, and she just rolled off with his ass. Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
It was
Turkish sweets.
It was wild. Like, you get there, it's like we walked in and stuff, whatever. I'll show you the woman one day.
Right.
Cause I like every now and then she'll pop up and stuff for her, or she I know where she be at.
Yeah.
Cause she's not on social media.
Okay.
Cause she knows.
She knows.
She knows how to move.
Right.
She's like Griselda Blanca. So like it's crazy where it was the dirtbag guy was H.O.
Shout out to H.O.
Shout out to H.O. man. And H.O. was just like, yo, like, we're not gonna do anything. I was like,
right.
This shit makes it inviting. And then I looked at him one time, he's like it would be a tragedy, like, just for us not to fuck her.
we fed, we high, we kind of tipsy. This goes in line with what's supposed to happen next.
And then he gave me he's like, how many women today's women would make it so inviting to say to a guy like, yo, when you come in here, we're fucking.
Right.
Let me make it inviting for you to let you know we're going to fuck.
But it just goes back to the top of the show, what we're saying. A lot of these women are depending on their looks to achieve all of that, what you just said.
Her personality and her hospitality?
Yeah.
100. I made it out alive.
You made it out alive.
My scapegoat plan and stuff for that. I set up a plan before I left and stuff, whatever, right?
Right.
I was like, I told my significant other at the time, I was like, look, I need you to call me in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Sharp.
Hmm?
You don't call me in 10 minutes and stuff, whatever, we have a problem when I get out this bitch. All right? 10 minutes sharp. So they were talking and stuff. I forgot, like I said, Hansel and Gretel. It caught me. I was enamored. I was enamored.
There you go. There you go, folks.
I was lost. And I was like, and then I heard the phone ring and I was like, yes.
Yeah, snap back to reality.
Back to reality. Oh, there goes Rabbit. I was safe. So I'm like, yeah, personality can win me over. I realize and stuff, whatever, especially when it comes to specific women. Mm-hmm. Yes, I do like the women that I date or the women that I talk to and stuff to be like attractive or highly attractive.
Yeah.
But I look at it as stuff as where I've dated women that, so to speak, were not my type. And I look at it like physicality wise and stuff, whatever, right?
Right.
Like I've dated a woman and stuff, whatever, like body type and stuff, whatever, was not my forte.
Okay.
But part of the personality and how she carried herself, just said, fuck it, I gotta at least like, shoot a thing and stuff, whatever. I shoot a shot because she wore perfume.
Right.
She wore a type of perfume and stuff for her, and it was something else. And she had a walk on her. But like, she was anorexic. Like she was skinny. Like coming in at number 11, it stinks. Like it's, and I was like, y'all know about this. And then like the chest was kind of flat to it. I was looking like, I don't know about this, but that perfume and that personality.
The personality.
I was like, at least a date.
The personality, man.
At least a date. And then like, we had a time and stuff, whatever. Like when I'm gonna say like the date.
Yeah.
Because like, she was into like a lot of other shit and stuff, whatever too. And it was a vibe, but just things didn't work out and stuff, whatever. Certain things didn't align, but the personality, I can always remember and stuff that like, you didn't have to be my type of looker, but you can still get me on personality.
Yeah. So and just like you're saying, it wasn't the act, it wasn't the looks that didn't make it work out. It was like other things on top of just.
But the other thing, once you quantify those as like personality, so let's say for example, you're not born smelling good,
right?
But then the person's personality might say a Baccarat Rouge, this will be their cologne or fragrance of forte.
Yeah,
and then now when you smell them and stuff whatever, like you could have smelled like it's Miyake. You could have smelled like Chanel, but you chose Baccarat Rouge, right?
Yeah.
So I look at it stuff. That's part of your personality because of that's why I would quantify it.
I would quantify it as that, and then but I'm pretty sure there's other factors that you may have not even thought of in regards to it being like either a personality trait or not, but something that's not within your wheelhouse that kind of makes you think, all right, maybe this is not the person for me, right? And I think that's the problem, right? It's like I think people don't take the time to look at besides the looks, the personality, and then besides the personality, like what is that really could make us click? And sometimes it takes for that to develop, and if you don't give that time, eventually those little small things that you don't deem as important, they may have built up over time, and like just like they say like, now the littlest things annoy me. You know what I mean? It's just that type of vibe where it's just that those little things you never looked at before, you chose to ignore it because you were so enamored. Right? But now when that whole honeymoon phase is gone, this is the things that start to creep up.
Let me ask you, when it comes to, let's say, a one-on-one interaction with a woman that, like you say, let's say you would try to pursue.
Right.
Are you more focused on looks or personality and stuff, whatever? Because I look at it stuff as where, especially if it's somebody you might see in public, you might not see them enough to kind of know certain things about their personality or their character and stuff. I would say like the sense of style is one thing.
Yeah.
But I would say it was hard to kind of identify a personality type of thing when it's like you're come and go. Like, like to pick up somebody on the street. Like, I don't know if that still goes down. I come from a generation where it does.
Yeah.
And I know like you're a married man now, but I look at it stuff as where when you were pursuing women and everything like that, right?
Yeah.
You're going to go by looks, no?
I was going to say, when, I would say there's two types of ways that I've ended up dating females.
Okay.
And one was, again, off looks, because I think that's the first thing we're gonna notice, right? And that's the first thing that's gonna draw our attention is looks, right? And the second one was just not even looking towards that, but just from a friendship level, being around that person and kicking it, and again, the personality comes up. It's like, yo, You ever thought of, you know what I mean, going out on a date or something like that?
Mhm.
Like, in that situation, the personality has gotten me.
Yeah. I feel like when you like those situations where to get to know somebody like on a human level and a personality type of level,
Right.
I feel like they're so rare nowadays for me to say, because I look at it as where coming from a person in the world like that was dating and stuff, right? Like I want to say I went from married to not dating and everything and vice versa.
Yeah.
It's so, I want to say people either people don't like people or people don't know how to interact with people.
Right.
So that when you're leaving it on to the dating apps and shit like that in the sites,
Yeah.
it's kind of like you have to sell your personality in like this description. Because other than that, this person I don't want to say 9 times out of 10, like to be super negative, but let's say at least half the time, these people and stuff, they don't look up to say hi, or they don't make themselves warm enough to let you know that they're available.
Right.
To so to speak, whatever, right? Like I look at it stuff as where if I seen a woman like, let's say, I want to say like kind of like Caucasian, Latin descent, Asian, like with the straight hair types, and I see them look my way, the eyes will squint, and then they might do like a hair flick.
Yeah.
I can signify that I would feel like maybe like half the time,
right,
that's a positive gesture towards me.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Me, the asshole I am, or the dummy I'm gonna look back, make sure no one else caught that, but for me.
Right.
Once I realize it's me, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Marv.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, I look at stuff as where I had a whole situation where I picked up a woman.
Okay.
We saw each other multiple times.
Right.
And she never gave me a look like that.
Right.
So I never really pursued nothing and everything. And then I just kind of like cracked a joke with her like one day.
Yeah.
Like it was like a high and by basis, a little one day thing and stuff, whatever. I was like, and she gave me the look.
Then she gave the look.
When she gave me the look and stuff, I'm like, yo, you smitten?
Smitten.
Yeah, it was one of these. Hold on, let me see if I can reenact it. She was like, hey, Marv. I was like, oh shit. I know that. I see that when women are, becoming mattress actresses. So I was like, you digging me?
Right.
And like, oh my gosh, this guy.
This guy.
But I'm like, yo, I don't know. And most people don't know because they don't make it warm and inviting to say, right?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like personality is very, very hard to sell in today's time and stuff, or even just like dating or pursuing somebody.
Right.
Because I look at, go ahead.
I just remember this situation where I was at a friend's barbecue, right?
Okay.
And me and a couple of friends were in the back of the bar. We were in the back of the house just chopping it up because that's where most of the barbecue was happening. And then I guess it was time to leave, so everybody was moving to the front of the house, right? So me, another friend of mine, and a girl he used to talk to, which we're still in the back, sitting chopping it up, right? And then someone called my friend, and then he went to the front, right? So me and his ex-girlfriend were just there with chopping it up and so forth like that, and just regular conversation, right? And then just like this light breeze just blew in between us, right?
Mm.
And the energy that light breeze like just passed through, the energy that it brought with it, if my hairs did not stand up on my arms, I'd be lying. To the point, like if it felt so strong to the point I looked at her and I go, did you feel that? Right?
Pick up line.
she goes, yeah, but you're my ex's friend. And I said, say no more. I just wanted to know I wasn't crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was like I literally, like, you could feel it. Like, and I was like, yo, I've never been in a situation like that before.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't been in a situation like that since, where...
Don't say that out loud. Your wife might hear this episode.
You know what I mean? But I love my wife. My wife knows why I love her. But this is just like, This was like
no.
a
I'm trying to
moment.
protect from the argument. So what?
This was a moment.
You don't feel a
passing.
breeze between us? You don't feel that feeling between us?
It was
But some hoe from the past, you feel the feeling? No, boo. No.
This was different for sure. And I was like, okay, now I know that it doesn't necessarily have to be you in pursuit of somebody, or it doesn't necessarily have to be, all the usual cues that you will look out for.
Well,
but if an energy is there, an energy is there.
Yeah, no, I look at it stuff as where I think in overall, and let's say quote unquote, once you find your person or you get your person and stuff,
Yeah.
I feel like anybody else you want to attach around that, like after that, it's more your tribe.
Right.
Right? Because it's kind of like your person would be considered like your home.
Right.
And then like your tribe will kind of be like your community around you. And I look at it stuff as where you kind of would know your tribe or your community and stuff from like certain like, train of thoughts you might share, conversations. Like you guys were having a conversation, you said, right?
Yeah.
Like in a collective and stuff. And it's kind of like you guys already see eye to eye and stuff for them. Now, again, whatever kind of moment and stuff, because, like you probably had your younger inner Kavorka formulating and stuff, and she probably gave you a look.
Right.
And then you looked across the way and she had like the come fuck me eyes or something like that, whatever.
Right.
But then you guys is like, all right, back to reality. Oh, there goes rabbit, So, it just kind of lines up to kind of put the brakes on some things. And that's why I always feel like everybody has a choice.
Yes.
That's why I don't make excuses, because you guys could have, so to speak, violated.
Right.
Like the friends, trust. But you guys like, no. Like we're making a choice to say like, we both felt that we knew what it was and stuff, whatever.
What it is.
But we're going to just keep it pushing.
Keep it pushing.
I dig that. I respect that.
Yeah, it's dope. It's funny. Funny when you mention my wife. So here's the story with my wife.
Story time.
Before I want to say maybe weeks prior, right?
Mm-hmm.
Again, being a DJ, I was out in the club maybe 5 times a week, right? And I would run into and meet the same type of girl. And I got tired of that. It just got, that I got tired of my relationships not going anywhere, right? And I actually that like one night, that night before I met my wife, I prayed to God to send me somebody
like a week or two, a little bit before you met your wife.
The day before.
The
day before I prayed and I said,
that's interesting. Okay.
Yo, send me somebody who's for me, who's gonna be for me, right? And I remember the day perfectly. It was the very next day. I had Sandra's car, your godmother.
Okay.
So I think she had went to, I think it's either Florida or one of those places. She went to the States, but she didn't want to park her car in the building because, you know what I mean, the kids, they was badasses and she didn't want anything to happen to the car. So she let me use the car for the time she was gone. So I had it, keeping it safe and secure. So I was driving out, I think it was me, Howard, if I'm remembering correctly, and Romaine, and we were driving.
Shout out to Bug, man.
And we were coming down from this one street where Weston Collegiate is, the high school. And
that street. I know you're talking Pine. I think it's called Pine. Yeah,
Pine. And she was walking down, and I was like, "Oh shit! Let me stop in and see what shorty's about." So I stopped in, and I was like, "Hey, what's up? How you doing?" Introduced myself, introduced my boys, and said, "Where are you going? You need a lift?" She goes, "I'm going to my singing lessons."
Mm-hmm.
And I said, "Is this a sign?"
Because you're a music man?
Me, the music man? Here's this beautiful girl. And my wife, not flashy at all, right? Laid back.
But she'll fight you. You can't call her basic.
You can't call her basic. She's not basic, but she don't, you know what I mean? She'll do her thing.
Right.
Jeans, sneakers, you know what I mean? Not done up to the thing, hair back in a ponytail. I was like, she looked like the roundaway girl. So I said, yo, I gave her a lift, and so we exchanged numbers and so forth like that. And I was like, call me. And
Back then, it was so safe for random women to hop in the car with a random man.
it was,
before it became a Ted Bundy thing, because Ted Bundy was there before.
He ruined the shit.
He was there before you guys.
Yeah.
And yet and still, we went back to a world where it was safe enough for women to just get in a car with a man.
Yeah. And, and she didn't call me until like maybe 2 or 3 days after. That's when she decided to give me a call. And it's like, yo, this is crazy. It's like, and it's ever since, this is like over, gosh, 20 odd years.
Nice.
You know what I mean?
Nice.
But it's just that simple fact that I looked at her as somebody I prayed and asked for. And, I thank God to this day that like, yo, he answered my prayers because she's my better half. There's no doubt about it.
That's dope.
Whatsoever, she's my better half.
That's dope. That's dope. I look at it where your story would be inspiring to a good portion of people and stuff who are religious.
Yeah.
Because I guess, but they would say a lot of things like, you have to be specific. So like you got to the specificities of like what type of woman you were looking for.
Right, because well, like I said, because I was so used to a certain type of woman that I was dating, she was nothing.
So you're like, God, don't send me them club hoes?
Right. Right. Not in so many words, but I was like, yo, give me someone who's gonna be for me.
Right.
Right. And what I need. Right. And back then, all those women were just interested in, going to the clubs, this, that. Let me date the DJ because the DJ can get you somewhere and stuff like that. Like, not for me, Andrew the person, but Smooth the DJ.
Would you, let me ask you, so now, at that time, you were that kind of person when, like, let's say the club life and everything and stuff, and you're not that now.
Right.
Would you think that, like, some of those women made the same kind of change as you, or do you think you still see them in that kind of world?
No, there's a few that I know from back then
that they've transitioned.
They've transitioned. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So I guess it's for everybody.
No, because I'm like, you are who you are, right?
Yeah,
and if you like to go out and shake a leg and everything, like I don't expect like a person you're with to change that.
Right.
I feel like if that's just naturally who you are, then that's just your thing.
Yeah.
Because I realize that like if you were a natural like kind of like homebody, every now and then you'll go out and stuff. In your earlier heyday, it doesn't differ from that much for you are now.
Right.
Right? I want to say, I just feel like when some people get kind of religious, this is they want to slow shit down and it goes
dial it back a little bit.
Well, yeah, because I look at it like, especially when the New Year's people, they're gonna come for me.
Yeah.
I always look at stuff like when the New Year's people go to church, whatever, be like, I just go to your bed and just like, thank God you woke up and then you could do that first thing in the morning. Or have since everywhere is shut, a New Year's Day service. No, we're doing it midnight because you used to be a club hoe and then you can't sleep. So since you can't sleep and stuff, whatever, we'll do the countdown in for you, clap and joy and everything. Because back then and stuff, whatever, you would be out with some bottles and some demons and the spirits. But we're glad we have you with the Spirit of the Lord at midnight.
Amen.
Amen. Like the Freedom Street chicks and stuff. Like I'm looking at the vibes that time.
Yeah.
And I was just watching it. And I was like, I can never date none of y'all hoes. I just, like, I look at stuff as like, Cartel is a man that's, I want to say, an artist that kind of really popped around like my age demographic.
Right.
And a little bit older. I don't really expect the younger folks stuff of me, like, since there's incarceration, certain things kind of got slowed up, right?
Right.
But I look at it stuff as like, yo, to say to yourself, I live wherever the fuck I'm gonna fly my ass in to be part of this night.
Yeah.
The people that live there and stuff in Jamaica,
that's one thing.
Different.
That's one thing.
That's a different thing. When you flew in and you ain't no fucking celebrity, yo, stay away from me, man. If you ask me where the hoes at and I know and I can point to there, I don't want to be where the hoes are.
You don't want to be where the hoes are.
I don't want to be away from the hoes. So if you hear me say where the hoes at, like, okay, they're over there, I'm gonna be over there.
Over there.
Yes. All right. Well, that's
next poll. We spent a lot of time on that poll.
Spent a lot of time. All right. Next poll says, do you make eye contact with strangers? 80% said yes. You agree to that?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
For yourself?
For myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about other people? I feel like it's a no from other people.
You think it's a no for other people?
I find it... I work in a setting where you have... decent length of corridors.
Okay.
Right? So it's kind of like if you're going up the corridor, somebody might be coming down the corridor.
Right.
And I feel like if you know the person, you guys are just kind of closing the distance to greet each other.
Okay.
If you do not know the person, I feel like, let's say if you're 10 feet away, you might identify what I'm wearing, what I look like, all of the above.
Right.
By the time we close the distance to make it to be, I'm 3 feet away, people are averting their gaze. I find that quite often. That people avert their gaze and stuff like that, whatever. Like, you peep, I peep, and all the above. And so one person was saying to me and stuff like, I guess, because what she was saying, I guess she find me attractive, right?
Right.
What she was saying, she's like, well, what if my looks might be, I want to say, intimidating
I was about to say intimidating.
to another person and stuff like that, right? But I was looking at stuff as like, no one's out of your league. Like the same way you might have a Taco Tuesday diarrhea, the same way I can have it and stuff, whatever too. So I'm not more significant than you. Like that's how I look at it when I see some celebrities.
Yeah.
I look at them like, Nia Long, hope you hear this. Like you are that woman. However, I know you had a diarrhea or two in your life.
Right.
So I look at it stuff as like you're still human.
Yeah. But I think, with people like me and you, I think we're cut from a different cloth though, and
Talk about it.
Just like how we look at people and say, look, they put on their pants one leg at a time. They fart and it stinks. We recognize that, and our personalities allow us to be outgoing like that. And I don't think a good portion of people are like that. I think just there is an intimidating factor for some people, and I think there's a level of shyness for other people that don't allow them to just make that gaze, and the other thing is some people are afraid of how other people react, right? So
What do you mean?
like if
You mean, hey, how you doing and stuff like that?
we're not even
I'm
like
fucking tired of people
we're not
talking
even
to me.
like the hell you staring at me for? You know what I mean? Like some people are afraid of that type of response, which some people get that type of response. So it may be I'll look from a distance, but as soon as I get close, I don't want to seem like I'm staring at you to make you feel uncomfortable.
I think if you stare and then like we don't acknowledge and stuff, like let's say I wouldn't even say a woman, say it's a man, right? Another man and stuff, whatever, right?
Right.
He might be looking past you, so to speak.
Right.
Right? And then you caught your attention because you were looking like you were kind of looking towards the direction, but you realize like he's deadpan, like kind of looking at you, right?
Right.
So in your world, he's looking dead at you and stuff, whatever. But how would you like from there now? What would you do? What's your next move?
Well, for me, depending on how I'm approaching the person or for whatever reason I'm looking at.
Let's say you guys are like 5 feet away from each other.
I'll greet them. I'll say what's up.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? I'll let them know, that everything is good. And
not so many people are doing that.
Well,
though.
that's what I'm saying. And it's funny that you said that because it goes back to what I was saying earlier. I was in the Bronx one time, right? And I was staying by my cousin.
Mm-hmm.
And so after a certain time, they lock the door, right? But there's no doorbell. And then where the door is situated, it's a flight of stairs to where the main living room is. So if you knock the door, you gotta knock it like really hard for them to hear or see that anybody's at the front, right? Little hands, they didn't really knock that hard, right? So what I ended up doing was going back up to the top of the street, and there was a corner store there, and
payphone booth.
Dude had one of the. It looked so weird. I think it was the first time I seen it with the old school phones, but they actually took a quarter.
Yeah.
So I was like, "Can I use the phone?" He says, "Yeah, sure." He goes, "Takes a quarter," but I only had a Canadian quarter on me, right?
Okay.
There was another dude in the store, right? And I looked at him, and he looked back at me dead in my eye, turned his head, and pulled his hoodie over his head like this.
Okay.
Right? So I was looking at it like, oh, dude must think I'm here to like stick him up or something like that. So I said, my brother. I gave him to my brother to let him know It's nothing like that. I said, my brother, I'm sorry, I'm trying to make a phone call, but I only have a Canadian quarter. Do you have, can I borrow a quarter from you? Right? And as soon as I spoke and he realized,
You don't sound like you're from around here.
yeah, and I wasn't trying to stick him up, his whole attitude changed. And he's like, no worry, chief, it happens to the best of us. And went to his pocket and he gave me a quarter. But I'm saying the initial reaction is like, he immediately looked and just put his head down, pulled his hoodie over his head. It's like, I ain't trying to make eye contact with this dude. So I'm saying, in certain situations, it's like people are either intimidated or don't know what type of vibe to expect. So that's why if I'm staring at a person, I always either head nod, like give the friendly head nod, or
If they're black.
salutations. If they're black, salutations. If they're white, salutations.
Yeah.
Just to let them know that I'm not staring at you for any other reason than acknowledgement.
I think, and seeing that's the thing, right? Because
Right.
I look at it stuff as, again, once I was saying like the times are gonna get darker and stuff, right? I look at it stuff as where you're gonna, the haves and the have-nots, there's gonna be a definite deficit into the haves, right?
Right.
And the have-nots and stuff, they're gonna grow. So it's kind of like, well, you are cut from a different cloth and stuff now. You're greeting people just cuz and stuff, whatever, because what you're used to and everything. And then you have the have-nots looking like, what are you staring at? You want me to rob you, buddy? Like, and the temperature is different
It's
now.
different. It's different.
The temperature is going to even get a little different, too. I'm like, I could possibly predict a recession.
Yeah.
I love to be wrong,
Right.
right? But I'm looking at it stuff as like, this eye contact with stranger shit, I feel like it's going like on some different kind of levels. Like I saw a video and stuff, whatever. Like I saw it from the safety of my phone. I'm gonna say it like that.
Yeah.
Because somebody's on the subway, and then it was like I want to say a crackhead or someone like the Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs walked to the dude like, I'll suck your. And then I'm looking like, oh, and then somebody else is like behind her, like plugging their nose.
Yeah.
Because she smelled. I was like, oh. I started fanning my own nose. I was like, ah. I don't know if I could take the aroma already. And God bless is there. But could you imagine you're in a place and this is live and direct?
Live and direct.
Like, or you're the person she comes up to and stuff like that, right?
Right.
So I'm like, a simple hi won't suffice for certain people. And some other people, it'll just do wonders.
Right.
But I look at it stuff as like, yo, we're lacking the compassion. If you don't need anything from somebody, let's say this. I specifically remember my memory is good. I saw this shirt a long time ago on the Discovery Channel type of thing. The shirt, some old shirt. I don't know what fucking company makes it, but the shirt says "No Time for Love."
Okay.
It said in print, whatever, right?
Right.
And I always thought that was a funny ass shirt because I saw the shirt on the little kid on this documentary.
Right.
So I'm like, what? Damn, you put the kid in a "No Time for Love" shirt, whatever.
Yeah.
So I saw this adult lady. I want to say she's Filipino descent.
Right.
I'm leaving a Walmart one day and they're there with the signs like, oh, we're collecting dollars for the Philippines for whatever typhoon that just popped off and all the above.
Yeah.
And she had the shirt, the No Time for Love.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
I have a nice size of community, Filipino friends and everything.
Right.
So at that moment and stuff, I was like, yo, is this money going to go to them? That's the first thing I said. Is this money going to go to them? Or is it going to go to your peoples and stuff and you're doing this for them? She's like, she came out with some dossier kind of shit. Like, this is where it's going and all this. I'm like, all right, for a Ponzi scheme, you guys got a lot of like, it could be anecdotal.
It could be.
Without a doubt, but I'm looking like, all right, you went this far.
Right.
All right, hold this $5 and stuff, whatever. My thoughts and prayers to the Filipino people. This is my quick way of contributing before I go to my car.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
It was kind of like, say 7, 8 o'clock-ish that night, whatever. So after I was done there, I made a stop to somewhere else, but I went to go make a stop for some food.
Okay.
Same No Time for Love lady walked into the same food establishment. I was looking like, how's it going?
Yeah.
Motherfucker forgot who I was. I was like, I just gave you $5.
Yeah.
Are you looking at me like, So I'm like, yeah, like, if it wasn't for what you needed something from me, you would never make eye contact with me.
And going back to when you originally thought about it, I was thinking of people who are in customer service.
Mm-hmm.
they're probably doing the most eye contact, whatever, because it's part of their job,
Yeah.
right? So I can see some of the people who may have said yes during the polls.
Mm-hmm.
If they were in customer service, it's kind of like sometimes it's hard to. Sometimes when you work, it's hard to turn it off right away. So you might carry certain things with you even outside of
That's
work.
fair.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Not all.
Not all.
I feel like this shit is false. Put me on a spot with them. I bet you I indict their ass. Yeah. Let's get into some things, man. Yeah,
Okay.
what are your thoughts on this LA fires thing? LA County fires. Let's talk about that first.
It's wild how
It's a wildfire.
Yeah, how it's spread so quickly though. Is this a lot of wind that's contributing to this, or first of all, they don't know how it started, right? It's not
Allegedly, it says a brush fire.
brush
And then
fire.
allegedly, they said there are arsonists
Okay,
too, right?
right.
But I want to say like
And the arsonist angle is wild because there's a lot of conspiracy theories going around.
That's
with
why I
it.
said your thoughts on this
Yeah.
LA thing, whatever,
Yeah.
because I've heard tons of conspiracy theories and stuff, whatever, on it. Quite frankly, I feel like the arsonists or like arsonists, like plural.
Yeah.
I don't feel like they're fully to blame,
Right.
so to speak, because I feel like that area is naturally prone to a lot of shit. Granted, the time of year, like I don't know.
Right.
I would feel it's a cooler time, but the winds is definitely matching because even if you say arsonists or not,
Yeah.
I believe that a lot of that and those like when you see like the wind blowing on these flaming houses,
Yeah.
it's gonna jump to another item and location and so.
Right.
And then you see a ton of people and stuff who's actually trying to be their own personal firefighters and put out some of these fires. Like I saw a video and stuff whatever, like it was like 2-3 minutes of like different scenes of this chick just going out, like trying to put the fires around her mother's house.
Yeah.
Because she grew up in it and it meant a lot to her. And she's like, she doesn't want for this house to be scorched, as much as they didn't have insurance
Right.
on the house. So she's doing whatever it took. She got a lot of soot in her lungs. Like I remember she was a light-skinned chick and she almost looked darker than me and stuff in the park because
Wow.
she's running around like everywhere close because it's kind of like, even if your house is secure, 2 houses down the street are on fire and the wind is blowing the same direction.
Yeah.
You got to be part of that too,
Right.
that rescue.
Right.
I was laughing to myself, not for the tragedy of the people losing their homes, but I looked at it and stuff and said, you have Trump talking about the tariffs.
Yeah.
You have Trump saying like, make America great again. This is, we're focused on America, fuck the other countries and everything like that.
Right.
You're so used to with your train of thought of like thoughts and prayers to like Paris and some shit happened there, this place, this place and stuff like that. I would say like for the better part of me, like it's a natural reaction.
Yeah.
But I can understand why people are like, man, fuck them.
Yeah.
Because I look at it stuff as where like your leaders are not getting their shit together. Like Gavin Newsom, the governor,
Right.
and Trump are kind of like clashing on like the ideologies and stuff like for the fire. Like, fuck all the political side. People are losing their homes.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I look at it as like, yeah, y'all got to get y'all shit together. I don't know if we should focus on y'all. Like I said, even if you're Canadian and stuff, whatever, we don't have no prime minister.
We don't have no prime minister.
We got somebody that want to come in that can't even speak French.
But when you mention that though, it's like, yeah, guess who's down there helping you? Canadians.
Like I heard like a good portion of I think they said like 30% of like the prison inmates
Right.
are firefighters. They're like, I guess like, because some firefighters like work like part-time and all the above, or they're
Yeah.
part-time. I like 30%. I was like, that is a high ass number and stuff, whatever. That means we need to start putting respect on the firefighters then.
Yeah.
If like 30% of them are locked up and regular people are out here trying to put out these fires.
Yeah.
It's a different vibe to see it like that, whatever, like the state of California. Consider the fact that like, shit, I was just there in LA, like earlier part of the year, right?
Early part of the year.
And I'm like, this hurts, this sucks. But then again, this conspiracy is about like, people setting in a fire. And then much less, I heard a conspiracy theory, or not even, I don't know if it's real, if it's AI and stuff, but they were saying like, we're at a point now where some armies and militaries can like make cumulus clouds, can make rain clouds. Wagwan.
Right, right,
Like,
right. Yeah. No, that technology's been around. The cloud seeding, where they can.
yeah, so I'm looking like Wagwan.
You would think, right? It's like,
And then
this
when
is
like,
the perfect time to see
yeah,
clouds.
yeah. So like because I don't know, because I look at it stuff as like 100 years ago. That let's say 1925, right? 1925. Who put out the wildfires back then? Man or God?
I want to say, man.
Man? So you're just gonna disrespect God from dropping the droplets
No,
because it's
I mean,
LA, because over the LA
he
country.
dropped the droplets. I don't know how
Not how
timely.
much?
I don't know how timely they were when he dropped them. But on the wildfires, you'd have to give man some credit for going in and recognizing what it is and doing as much as they possibly can. Now, we cannot ignore the help that you get from God, because I'm pretty sure while they fight it, their ass is praying for some rain to fall.
But as I'm saying, that region is highly like rainless, so to speak.
Right.
Because, California is known for having their little droughts and stuff for too, right? And much as like most of I think part of the water even comes from even to LA County. Part of it comes from Colorado. Right? So just think about how much distance and stuff that takes us to kind of move all that water and stuff from those mountain ranges and stuff to kind of just get to those places. I just find it like highly unfortunate that like the theory that I heard was about the people were saying these houses are being burnt, and it's a grand scheme or plot to say like, yeah, now we have this land. This land is easy to buy.
Right.
And now we're multimillionaires. We just come in and just kind of confiscate.
The one I heard was smart cities.
The hub thing you were talking about?
So this
Explain that.
So how smart cities operate is that everything that you would need is within a 15-minute of your driving radius. So you never have to leave your city. So what they've been doing is, certain places around the world. I know there's a few places here, even here in Milton, where we are now,
active
that are currently building in regards to it being a smart city. So everything is within 15 minutes. So you never have to leave your area to go to one next. So what I've been hearing is that specific area was zoned to be like a smart city. And what they're saying is one of the conspiracies is that, well, in order to speed up the process, you gotta have a reason to rebuild. So if the fire comes through and destroys everything,
yikes,
there's your reason.
Yikes.
Then the next conspiracy theory I heard is that...
But wait, there's more.
All the Hollywood elites live there, and with Puffy in jail, all the evidence needs to be destroyed.
I mean, you're not wrong. Evidence does need to be destroyed.
Evidence needs to be destroyed.
What hurt me too was the insurance companies tapping out.
Yeah, and they did. Yeah, that's
should
crazy.
The insurance companies be sued? Because
I don't know if they should be sued, but the government definitely should step in and hold their feet to the fire.
I pay
no
you.
pun intended.
Shit should be for these fuckers. I look at it as well. I pay you money monthly for my home insurance,
right?
In case of like fire, flood, and all the above, or landslide, like depending on the region and what they quantify for, right?
Right.
And then now we have a moment where we're actually having fire, ain't mean to tell me you don't want to give me my money, run me my money and stuff, whatever.
It's insane, man. It's crazy.
Fuck everything you stand for. That's what I'm like. They should be sued at least because I'm like, here you are taking my money,
Yeah.
like for years possibly for some people, and then you're like, there's too many fires and stuff, whatever. That's not a me problem. You grew this. You decided to open up an insurance company under your shit, and your shit grew to this point where you now captivated a whole neighborhood block.
Yeah.
And now, for years, there was nothing going on, and you were collecting the money with a fucking smile. And now we're in a tragic moment where you're telling me, yeah, I can't pay all of y'all? Huh?
The percentage of people who pay into insurance and actually use it in a time of emergency is way smaller than the people who actually get the insurance money when times of emergency arises. These people are literally sitting on bank loads, truckloads, state loads of money.
I can say this. With my world, I've probably had, let's say, insurance, like driving insurance,
Right.
for just about, let's say, so to speak, let's say 15 to like, let's say less than 20 years of my life.
Okay.
So we'll say 15 years.
Yeah.
Right? Within, like, let's say the parameter of 15 years, I've had one car accident.
Right.
Especially insurance here is high as fucking Canada and
Yeah.
Ontario. And to Ontario, let me say that, because Quebec, they live a little bit better and stuff with their prices and stuff, whatever. And let's say minimum, I probably done spent on insurance stuff, whatever, was $160. And the highest I paid for insurance stuff at a time, oh fuck, when I was a rookie driver and stuff, whatever, my insurance was $370 something,
Okay.
almost $400 a
Okay.
month, right? And just think about that monthly times 12 until the bitch start to shrink eventually, but you're still getting like minimum 160.
Still, minimum.
And I have one car accident and stuff. But if I multiply all the money I've given insurance companies compared to the accident that they had to pay out,
Yeah.
wasn't shit.
Nada. It was a scratch. It wasn't even a
That's
scratch.
wrong. They're doing the people wrong.
Of course they're doing the people wrong.
That's just foul, man. That was
Of course they're doing
I
the
was like,
people
there's
wrong.
so
When
many
I heard,
people's
like, yo,
homes
what do
was
you mean we're
engulfed
not
in
covering
flames?
people? And shit?
Yeah.
It's like, that's insane. Just like, I mean, unrelated, but I just watched the news the other day with this lady. She recently got, I mean, she had cancer before, but it went under remission. And then she did the 5-year checkup.
Okay.
And at the 5-year checkup, she discovered that it came back and it's at stage 4,
Mhm.
right? So, her family's going through that. Then, one day they're sitting and all they hear is whoosh. They look at the walls, water's just coming down the walls and everything, right? So I saw a pipe burst in the place, right?
Okay.
Because the house is so old, they had to replace every single pipe within the house. Insurance wouldn't cover it.
Why?
I don't know what the reason was, but you think you have house insurance for this purpose, insurance wouldn't cover it. It was the goodness of this one of these plumber dudes in the area. He went to I guess the plumber association. He was like, "Yo, this is what's happening to this lady." And I think about maybe 15. I think about 15 different plumbers said, "Don't worry, we got it."
Community.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Just build your tribe. Build your tribe. Community. I feel like community and your tribe, your community is way more, I want to say, reliable than whatever this fucking world can throw at you and stuff. And it's not even to sound like so super negative, but I look at it stuff as where.
But we're seeing it in action though.
Yeah, you're telling me I can't function or I can't be at step B and C unless I do step A.
Right.
Which is pay this insurance.
Right.
I'm doing this.
Right.
And then now you're telling me and stuff, whatever, you're that's all on you. Why were you here?
And all that money I paid you in insurance, I could have probably paid for the repairs my damn self.
It's awful, man. Poor people, man. That's why I felt like, thoughts and prayers and stuff to the people of like LA County.
So what is the excuse that they're not coming forward and paying out any money for the damages?
They're not saying.
They're not saying.
They're not saying. Every time I see it on CNN and stuff, whatever, they're just saying like it's too much. There's too much fires. If you want to look for an excuse, they're saying there's too much fires. So let's say, and they're not telling you the companies here. So let's say like with farmers.
Yeah.
Let's say if it was farmers, whatever. I'm not even taking shots at farmers because before they say you guys are accusing us.
Right.
But if it is and stuff, whatever, they might have the whole block on smash.
Right.
And remember, like the wind is blowing, the whole block will get incinerated.
Right.
So now they have to cover like, let's say 5-6 homes and stuff, whatever, on one street, much less how many homes have been infected and stuff, whatever, right?
Yeah. Of course, they don't want to do that at a loss.
But they're telling you, in order to have the house,
you need insurance.
This. Yeah, as I said, you need step A in order to do everything else and stuff, whatever. And then now you realize step A was fucking redundant.
Yeah, yeah.
And you're looking like, well, who's going to help me with like my charred land?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's gruesome, man.
It'll be interesting to see over, because I mean, the effects now, yes. But again, what's going to happen 2-3 years down the line, right? When some people who can't afford to pay for the repairs have nowhere to live, now they have to evacuate. They have to like leave that plot of land. Like they can
sell it to Mel Gibson. He's looking for a new home and stuff. There's mass celebrities and stuff over there that are looking for new homes. So I look at it stuff as where there'll be a lot of land over there to be ready to get sold.
Yeah.
And the landscape is definitely going to change, because I feel like important places where they would need to save and preserve,
right,
they're being protected.
Right.
Like I want to say, probably the Getty Museum, because they're saying like the fires and stuff are going towards Hollywood Hills allegedly, and that the Hollywood sign burning as false, but like things that might be tourist attractions.
Right. They're on the front line to save that shit.
Come on.
They're on the front line to save that shit.
Come on. We need this money to come back to the state.
But then now, can you see why a conspiracy theorist can run with it? Get a grip and run with it, because, you give me food for the fodder. Like, I got an insurance company that I paid that's willing to watch my shit burn to the ground.
And not give me a cent.
To rebuild it.
So heartbreaking. That's so heartbreaking.
That's insane when you think about it.
So
and the excuse is that, well, if I do it for what I have to do it for, yeah, hell yeah. All of them were paying y'all.
Dirtbags. See, I'm not the only bad person in the world.
You're not. That makes you look good, Marv.
Bless your heart.
Makes you look good.
Where
are we going next?
There's this.
Our whole not having a prime minister debacle because you touched upon it. Wait a second. Us being the 51st state.
Am I for it? Or am I like? What are you asking?
What's your thoughts? You think Trump is serious about it, or you think he's just poking the bear?
Oh, he's talking shit. The fact that he called Gavin Newcomb. I was like, you called him Newcomb? Like, you can say that? But I'm like, on Twitter, everything goes.
Everything goes, man. Everything goes.
Right? I think he's straight trolling.
Right.
Maybe if the paperwork and stuff, whatever, like is legit, if they drop some legit paperwork and for us to kind of look at it, I wouldn't trust it unless I probably would see Chrystia Freeland look at the bitch first for me.
Right.
And then if it works for her, because for her to step away from like the tax break holiday piece and say like, yo, this is going to set us back and we don't know what the fuck Trump is coming with.
Right.
I need to let her overlook some of these things and then proceed forward. But I mean, did you think it was like, you think he never was going to leave? Like, did you think he was going to hold it out? Like, Trudeau?
No. I knew at some point he would have to make the move.
He
would have to make the move to save the party's face, even if he didn't want to. I think the pressure was just, it's insurmountable at that point. Once Christie said I'm out, everybody kind of looked within themselves and said, nah, we can't let this guy continue. Like, he's sinking the boat at this point.
To me when I was looking at this thing, it reminded me of is it the Caesar play where Brutus stabs Caesar and like all Marcus Aurelius, all of them just doing their thing. I forget what that's called, but it's like Jagmeet Singh was legit in hand with Trudeau
He
for a
popped
good
him up.
portion of the time. And then when it came to Christy Freeland stepping down, it's like Jagmeet Singh had like, it was like blood in the water and he was a shark.
Mm-hmm.
And they just went attacking Trudeau and coming back from the holiday run. Like for them to step foot and stuff, like, all right, first official full week of January and stuff, let's get in. He's like, yeah, I'm out. And I was like, oh man.
Because Jagmeet was about to bring the no confidence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I looked at it stuff as where there's a lot of fake news that was going on social medias and stuff, but I did believe for him to hold it down for that long after such a catastrophic thing where like your deputy prime minister has left.
Right.
Your party looks like shit.
Yeah.
The Liberal Party looks like a clown show now.
Yeah.
Conservatives, they look pretty righteous right now. And then Pierre Poilievre, with him,
right,
and the fact that he's fluent in French,
right,
and with this new person they brought in to hold it down until like the real election time and stuff, the guy said he don't need to speak French. I thought French was the second language in Canada.
Bro, when he said that, I was like, what do you mean you don't need to speak French? But then I thought about it, like, do the presidents need to know how to speak Spanish?
Do the presidents know how to speak Spanish?
Or do they need to know how to speak Spanish? Not I'm pretty sure some may have a little forte within the language, but is
bilingual?
It a requisite?
So bilingual being a president is
Right.
not a requisite.
Okay.
I've noticed stuff here, it kind of was.
Yeah.
There in America and stuff, not to my knowledge and stuff there, because I want to say it just like English was the only language that was spoken for the longest.
Right.
And then there was a boom of like, I want to say Hispanic Latin folk.
Okay.
So it only makes sense because I want to say even like the black people there, they were still speaking English or Ebonics spoken English.
Right.
Primarily at the time.
Okay.
So it was really no need and stuff for that, but just to keep everything as English. And now we're looking at stuff like, oh, okay, Latin people are coming in and stuff, whatever. Most of them speak the collective of Spanish.
Right.
We'll run with this as a second language.
Okay, and is it an official second language?
Yes.
Or okay. So that's one to see. Because
Yeah.
I know here French is an official second language. So I can see if it being official, then they probably need for somebody who's going to run the country to be fluent in both languages. But this
Here, not
here.
there.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Here. And I wouldn't understand why it wouldn't be so there.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, if it's an official second language, I don't know, it'd be interesting to see how other countries that have more than one language operate if they need a first and second language.
I would just think like every country should speak English for the most part. And the reason why I say that is because you have so many English speaking like investors.
Right.
So to speak, like even if I was like Latin descent.
Yeah.
And I wanted to do business in another country, let's say Greece.
Right.
I wouldn't expect them to speak Spanish.
Right.
Compared to like them speaking English.
Yeah. It's pretty safe to say that English is the official language of business.
Right.
Yeah.
So I would try to run with that for the most part for most other countries. But I just find it difficult that you want to now take helm of like top dog and stuff in Canada, and you don't want to speak the language of the people, and then you want to brush it off like it's not important. When considered like the fact that like this man himself was once a former immigrant.
Right.
Right? Seeing that that's different again in America. In America now, the situation and stuff is where you have to be born there in order to be a president.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where here is not that flexible. So motherfuckers coming from wherever feel like, for the Game of Thrones, I want to sit on the Iron Throne now.
I'm thinking about it now though, right?
Yeah.
If I can't sign language, but I can get someone who can, would it be far-fetched that if I can't speak French, I could get a French interpreter?
You could because I look at it. Look at the UN.
Right.
I look at it when you have these countries and stuff at the UN, whatever, and let's say whatever country wants to speak going on. Let's say Kurdistan.
Right.
I don't feel like the language of the Kurds is like more popular ones, whatever. You better throw on your headset and get this translation from the translator.
Right. Right.
So I would feel like that would be the case in need, but you're gonna pull up in Quebec. So look, that means you're trying to ignore Quebec. We know as Canadian people living here that the Quebecois feel like they the shit.
Right.
They better than everybody else and stuff, whatever, right?
Right.
So the fact that now you want to pull up and say we don't need to speak French, and Quebec is a like substantial piece into this Canadian politics piece, whatever, you're on drugs.
Right. Right.
And that's me saying in the nicest way I could say it and stuff, whatever, too. Because I'm like, I wouldn't go for that position if I know like any kind of political kind of like top dog seat, you have to kiss ass and shake hands to a lot of people. That's very arrogant and like, yo, that's rude, dog. The man's just like, yo, I don't need to do that.
You speak English to me.
You speak, I don't need to do that. Who the fuck are you?
You speak English to me.
Because I saw the comments, like when I saw the comments on social media and stuff, whatever, I saw it on the news.
Right.
And then when I saw the comments, they're like, you barely speak English your damn self. And then you talking about, no, they shouldn't be speaking French. They have to be. But again, participate or get screwed.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
It's wild.
Let me ask you some things before we slide and stuff and keep it pushing.
All right.
Are the ballers better rappers? Now I started looking at the whole influx of boom, I want to say Leangelo Ball.
Yeah.
He dropped his Tweaker song.
Yeah.
Miles Bridges had his song, the Pink Lemonade track. Wasn't feeling that. Dame Dollar's been doing his thing for a while now.
He's been doing his thing.
I want to say, keep it a buck, that Paid in Full track.
Right.
That is up there to me. I want to say out of the ballers right now, the track that I listen to like the most would be the Jalen Brown and ASAP Ferg. Right? And again, Stale and Kevin Durant's track is amazing and stuff in itself too.
Yeah.
So I look at it stuff as like, are the ballers better rappers? Because we know right now we're still in this mumble rap shit and a lot of rappers and stuff.
Oh, I was about to say, the one thing that we can say is that we're getting clarity, and with some of the ballers rapping,
athletes, okay,
yeah, we're getting clarity,
yeah,
and
not Miles Bridges. Miles Bridges' thing is, I mean, you need to hear it yourself. But I was like, this Pink Lemonade track, it was just annoying to me, and I'm like, we're not gonna just stick to what you do on the court.
Yeah, and I think it's for sure a departure from the drill scene, the drill rap that's been, inundating the whole rap scene. Of course, they're still gonna rap about the dollars and the women, but that goes with both territories of being either a rapper or being a baller. You're gonna have that, so that's gonna be a subject matter. But I think just the whole moving from the gun lyrics, the drug dealing lyrics, I think that's more inviting to some people who are not a part of that world.
Of course.
Yeah.
Are the rappers really balling?
They're not really balling like the ballers.
Because
they're not really balling like the ballers.
I feel like we run into, and this is why I'm over a good portion of like certain rappers and stuff and some of the newer kids and stuff as is, where I feel like one, like shout out to most of the jewelers. Like I don't know, like I just see bling 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 blow. I just see a lot of necks and stuff are sparkling and dangling with multiple chains.
Yeah.
But I don't walk around with diamond testers and stuff to say if it's real or not, whatever. But then the persona,
these are BBSs.
Right. The persona they're giving and stuff is like, yo, they getting it out here. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And like from the cars and certain things that they're rolling around with and the lifestyle and stuff. But I'm looking like, let me check your charting records. Like, you're not charting.
But again,
Like, go ahead.
But again, a lot of that stuff is consignment, though. I think that's what people are missing. You know, they see them with it and think that they've actually doled out all of that money for those baguettes and whatever, right? But a lot of times it's like you go out and you buy you buy a $60,000 car. You're not paying $60,000 up front. You might be paying $300 and something a month until you pay it off. Or
you're saying like regular man?
Yeah, like
okay.
like regular man. Until you pay it. So it's no different from like the whole jewelry game. And a lot of times, and I was saying this to a post where this dude, he's a sneaker designer, right? And he said he would never give a celebrity shoes for free. And I'm like, well, why not? If it's a big enough celebrity, I'm like, bro, if Drake came to you and said, let me get a pair of shoes, why the hell would you not give Drake a pair of shoes? Drake wearing your pair of shoes is probably worth more than anything that you could buy with an advertisement.
I would say for marketing purposes and stuff, that would be the dumbest thing not to do.
Yeah. It's like, how much money would you have to pay in advertising and marketing to equal that? Right?
True. Very true.
Especially if someone asks them, who made your shoes?
Right.
Right? Your stock has just gone from here to here. And I go, and the next thing, top designers do it all the time.
So it's so funny where like recently with the whole, I call it Beyonce concert that was football on the before and after it.
Right.
But like even like that Beyonce halftime show that was on Christmas Day, apparently like some of the horses and stuff, or the horse that she rode on had like a specific type of shoe.
Right, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And like the lady who the owner of the company is looking like, yo, the sales just quadruples. I don't heard Beyonce going to Mike like, shout out to my pony shoes. It was just seen. And they ran the search, and this lady's business got this whole booming effect. So much that if it's your company shit, and they're looking like, well, what are those? And they're looking like, it's his new company for some guy that I was just trying on shit with, whatever.
Right.
Your shit's gonna flip.
It's gonna flip, right? And so with that being said, a lot of jewelers operate the same way, where they say, listen, I got this diamond necklace, this, that, and the third. It's worth so and so and so, but I need the advertisement. So guess what? You go ahead and rock it. But it's on consignment. You got to sign the papers. You got to this, that, and the third. Either you pay monthly for it and it becomes yours, or after a certain amount of time, you give it back.
Question.
And that's with the whole Sean Kingston thing, with the whole, you know, he had all that.
I was just about to say that.
That was
I was about to say
Sean
like,
Kingston thing.
At first I was like, which celebrities are they doing it to? And then Sean Kingston came in before you finished. I was like, oh, so that's how Sean Kingston's situations get caught up.
Yeah.
Interesting.
You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, it's advertisement. Like, I couldn't tell you if Drake really owns that plane, other than if I'm a plane manufacturer and I know I need to sell planes to Arabs and all these different business people who can actually afford to buy this plane, who better to advertise my plane than Drake?
Mm. Yeah, that makes sense. I think, hear me, in the 80s, you know, we had a different kind of rappers, right?
Right.
And the 90s, definitely for sure and stuff, whatever. Because this is where you have like the Diddy's, the Biggies, the Jay-Z types and stuff, whatever, just showing what they got. I look at it stuff as the ones in the 80s, it wasn't about how much money we were making, but then again, I feel like they were different kind of businessmen and marketing men.
Yeah.
Where it wasn't really like that now. And then you have people like even Cameron. Cameron is a type of rapper and stuff, but not only with his podcasting piece or the show, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But real estate was their thing. A lot of the diplomats and stuff and everything, real estate was their second ventures and stuff like buying homes in like Jersey and all this type of stuff. And I would feel like even if you're not rapping and you still have money coming in,
yeah,
I feel like you'll be considered somewhat to say balling.
Yeah.
Because even if we did the jewelry thing, like I'm a jeweler, I'm Jacob the jeweler and everything like that, I made you this previous piece and stuff, whatever is out there. Okay, cool. I have a new piece now. I want you to do it. And you're like, okay, so we're going to start right back from scratch again because you're like, you probably have a new album coming out.
Right.
And then we're right back at square one.
Or they might have returned the old piece.
Yeah, and melt that down and do some shit to that.
With the new piece.
Like Evil Drake. Evil Drake bought the Pharrell. He told Pusha, tell your boss to come get his chain. Yeah, like...
But also the dynamic of the time, right? Because we're talking where, you know, the 80s and the 90s, that's an era where a record sale was an actual record sale. And those artists were getting paid real cash, right? As opposed to now we're in the era of streaming. You know what I mean? 1 million streams is like, it can't buy you that same chain that these guys are wearing. It can't.
I can't tell. When I see them, they look rich as fuck.
Yeah, it's something to say, but to me, it's all consignment, man.
Is there an age where someone should give up on rapping for fame? Like, I feel like there's a I'm looking at stuff like, you're doing this for a passion.
Right.
You're doing this for your hobby. This is your thing. Because I look at it stuff as where, and I feel like that when it came to like Mos Def, right?
Right.
Recently, he was on the Drink Champs.
Yeah.
He's on the Drink Champs and stuff for him, Kweli, and Dave Chappelle and stuff as well.
Yeah.
And Nori brought up the part where he's like, well, so inspirational to him and stuff is that part from the Chappelle show when it's just Chappelle and Mos in the car and he's just like freestyling.
Right.
Whatever, right?
Right.
I don't believe he's rapping for fame anymore.
No.
So that's what I'm asking you. Like, do you feel like there's a time and age where like people should just like end it for like doing it for fame?
I think so. I think, and I'm gonna say, if you're at a certain age still doing it, I think you have to be grandfathered in.
Speak about it.
Like you've been doing it from a time. You've been doing it from like maybe like your 20s or your early 30s, and you've had success during that time. And now you're riding the waves of your success. You don't need to make that money.
That's fair.
Right. You don't need to make that money at this point now. It's just more the fact that you can still do it. You have fans out there, and you know you're entertaining your fans.
Because
right?
even like with them, they're doing a Black Star album and stuff, whatever, like on the Luminary side.
Right.
Right.
Well, most stuff just did work with Alchemist. It's coming out I think it's supposed to come out this month.
Yeah.
Yeah, and again,
in the open. Because a lot of the things and stuff is like they're playing, like even like hearing like parts. Like I watched a portion of it of the Drink Champs and stuff, whatever, and I was looking at it, he's like, basically and stuff, whatever. They have this platform to do it like how they do it because the gatekeepers and stuff of old still do it a type of way and stuff. But at least now they have to do everything to their level, and they're like, their peoples are gonna get fed first. Their tribe is gonna get fed first. So if they drop the album 3 months ahead and stuff, whatever over here. The regular ones might not get it and stuff out here. So you're saying the Alchemist album is supposed to be dropping sometime soon?
I think it's dropping this month. And then again, just like how you're saying, I don't think it's through your typical channels.
Right.
I think it's more or less that, you know, maybe it might be some sort of Patreon type setup where if you're a fan, you know, you subscribe, you pay, and you get it. So it's like a direct to consumer more of a deal.
Now, the people who didn't get fame and are still trying to get fame, what about them? Do you feel like there's an expiry on them?
I think rap is still considered a young man's sport, right? So unless you're, and that's why I say, unless you're grandfathered in where people already know you,
no chance.
I don't think there's that much of a chance. Now you're either going to be really good at it, right? And get the respect of those who are in it for like the art form or in it for, you know, the lyrics and that sort of deal, which is fine, but understand that is who you're doing it for at this point. You're not doing it for the masses, and you're not doing it to get rich.
Yeah. And just your passion and your skill.
Yeah, your passion, your skill, that understand that.
It Bars 95, cool. Bring your A game, bring your pen game, that's your name. I like how they say that.
I like that.
All right, man. Let's get to the question of the week.
Question of the week.
Question of the week. If you're a rapper that didn't make it, no. Question of the week says, real friends or deal friends? And I say real friends or deal friends. Like, which way would you take it? Because you need to look at where you are now, currently in your world. In your world, do you have solid amount of people around you where you say, you know what? You don't need any more real friends. You be okay. You're looking for friends that can hook you up with a deal or can create a deal opportunity for you to be well off, that you don't have to worry about money no more.
I say deal friends.
Deal friends.
Yeah.
I said at this point right now and stuff, whatever, I feel like I'm going to go with the deal friends and stuff, whatever, too. But I feel like even if I'm to poll it, mark my words.
Oh, yeah. No,
they're gonna say, real friends.
But, a lot of people say real friends don't got nothing going on.
I've never heard nobody say that. Really?
Well, I'm saying a lot of those who say real friends, I probably ain't really got nothing going on where they need that deal to get those deal friends.
That's interesting. I would feel like you're real, like, I wouldn't think it really would matter. Like, hear me. And I look at it stuff as like, I have friends that work in different type of sectors and stuff, like besides that sector I work in.
Right.
So I look at it stuff as where in their own retrospect, whatever, some of my people, they popping in their own world. Yeah. Right. And I look at it stuff, to me, they would just be considered like real people and stuff to me. Right. But I'm not looking at them and stuff as the deal level be like, yo, since you got these, you making these $1 million movements and stuff, whatever. Here's the podcast. Take that with you and just, promote that on your side. Right. For free. Right. 99. Right. You know what? I say this. I think just that aspect and stuff, whatever, of the deal. Yeah. The deal friend, I think I wouldn't want nobody to look at me like I'm coming at them for something. I want to just make it like a business transaction stuff, kind of like across the board.
But it's funny because I was gonna say, like, within the last 5 or 6 years now, the people who've become our friends have become our friends because we do business and there's a mutual exchange between us.
So I want to say, so to speak, that's why when we were saying it's support the new friendship.
Yeah, for sure.
Gotcha. Okay.
Ask the Sons.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
First question comes from Purple the Goat. Is heaven really that good, or is it just good marketing? What do you think?
I don't know. I've never been yet.
I've never been either.
I couldn't tell you. So I'm gonna have to probably go with good marketing. At this point.
The marketing. I feel like the marketing could be a little bit better.
It could be a little bit better.
Since the number one name on the planet is Muhammad, right?
Right.
So I look at it stuff as where like they don't have heaven and so to speak in their religion, but yet they're the number one religion on the planet. So I'm like, it's good enough to be a top tier, but it's not top dog.
Not top dog.
So yeah. No, I haven't been to heaven and stuff, whatever. Beg to differ to other women that I've slept with. But yeah.
They probably beg to differ too.
They're probably like, I gave him heaven.
Shout out to all the women that have been named heaven.
Yes. And the Nevaehs too. Your backward heaven people.
And the Nevaehs too.
The sinners. Backwards heaven. All right. Next question comes from Robo-Boy. It's
a good one. All right, let's get it.
I had to sit up for this one.
I'm gonna sit up too.
Why are rappers so religious, rapping about God, and in the same breath talking about how many bitches they fucked? Do you consider those rappers? Go ahead.
Because God blessed them with the rap lyrics to get those bitches to fuck.
This is what we're going with? These thoughts were not reflected by all the Podical Sons.
No, you know what? It's. I think it's people almost take it as a default.
What do you mean?
To thank God, even though they have some of the things that they're thanking them for, they have no business thanking them for that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Why do you believe it's a default? Let me hear you talk about that. Because of the households they were raised in, because let's say the culture they were in.
I was about to say household.
But you still have a choice, though.
you do have a choice, and they choose to thank God for things that they don't necessarily. I mean, I don't think, God said, "Listen, I want you to go out there and spit trap lyrics, spit
But it's not
lyrics
even
about misogyny, and then Grammy time come, thank me."
no, it's not even that. But even religious bars, that's what they're saying and stuff, whatever too. Because I'm looking at stuff, it was like they're religious rapping and stuff, whatever. So I want to say when you're saying let's say for example, God forgives, I don't, whatever, like a Rick Ross title track, whatever, right?
Right.
I look at it stuff as where you're mentioning his name,
right?
And you're not supposed to really do it in vain.
No, you're not supposed to do it in
vain.
vain.
But then you're really like, oh, the bitches that owe me head, whatever, right? I'm like, bruh, I don't know if this is default. Like, yo, you don't have no conscience? So it's like, you penned this thing or did you not pen it? Because that'll open up a ghostwriting whole argument and stuff, whatever, as is, right? And I can see like a freestyle is a different kind of thing and stuff as well too. But when you're penning and stuff for like, you don't know the life I lived was so hard until I found God, then bitches are not giving me head in a Ferrari. Like,
yeah, definitely, you shouldn't have mentioned God in that aspect. But I mean, listen, if you were trapping and survived the shootout and that was part of the bars and you thank God, then yeah. Go ahead and thank God for surviving that shootout.
Maybe we shouldn't put no more bitches in that verse.
Right.
Go to the next verse after the hook. Go unhinge that verse.
Unhinged on that verse.
Yeah. It's always so foreign to me. Like the thanking God aspect and stuff, gratitude before attitude, I'm all for.
Yeah,
like when you win the award, but I'm like, no, when you're penning these lyrics and stuff for like, and I always laugh too when it comes to like, when I used to hear a lot of Dr. Umar type people in the past, back in my day before Dr. Umar was known, like some say Caucasian people were the devil. Right? And I said to the guy, I was like, why would you guys say that? Or why would he say that and stuff? Whatever. He's like, there's more rock songs about the devil than are about God. Compared to like in the black world, there's more songs about God than is about the devil.
Right.
Right? And I was like, I'm talking about sympathy with the devil. With the devil. I'm talking about all these. I was like, yee. I guess we were more inclined to throw a God lyric in, but when you're following up with something that might be, I'm going to say derogatory or insulting, that
I wonder if that has anything to do with black music reflecting a struggle. And the fact that you may have made it out of that struggle, you thank God for it. And white music, white people never really having any sort of struggle at all, but just living in the life of debauchery.
I would not all, because I look at it stuff as where, let's say, and I'm not speaking for all country people, right?
Right.
But let's say, for the most part and stuff, for the most country folk, I would consider a good portion of them would be like religious people.
Yeah, I would say that.
All right, you have a person who started off country and stuff, whatever. Taylor Swift.
Right.
Taylor Swift started off country and she was more homely and all that type of stuff and girly girl and religious and stuff, whatever. Then compared to like now, her lyrics are more worldly. Right?
Secular.
He said it, I didn't. Please don't shoot me or him, Swifties. We're just different people at the time. But yeah, like even in that landscape and stuff, right? I would feel like they're still thanking God and stuff and having God into their world.
Yeah.
Because like, but the struggle and stuff is still there. I want to say most country people, I want to say, are not, let's say, I don't believe all farmers are rich. Like when I see some shit like Yellowstone and stuff, whatever, that's 1-2 every, like country bumpkins and stuff, whatever, to get their money out here, whatever, right? Because I see some of the farmers in these places missing some toofuses, right? So I don't think life is all grand over there, if they're missing toofuses.
Right.
So I would feel like that's a struggle in itself.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. But that's wild. Thank you, Jesus. Pass me these cheeks.
We got some bad bitches in the building. Amen. I'm about to smash you in the yo.
Yeah.
I'm saying church, preach. You remember that song?
Yeah. Yeah.
Amen. Meek Mills.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wild. Last question comes from Crazyhorse. What's hard about dating you? What would be hard about dating you? I talk back. That's definitely hard about dating me.
I'm very much into my work. So
Oh, so you can get locked in.
yeah. And the times where you may want me to be free for you,
I'm locked in.
I'm locked in.
I had a conversation with a woman about this. I'm gonna give you my let me give you my answer and stuff for that. So I think the hardest thing about dating me, it would be to kind of see some of my exterior. And I say that we're no malice. I stand with no malice, but the things I might say might come off kind of harsh and stuff. I'm blunt. This is how God rolled me.
Right.
I am who I am.
Right.
But now, pertaining to your thing now, I know a woman, she's married
Okay.
to a spouse who's always been a go-getter, a hustler. I want to say not a hustler, but I want to say he has a few businesses, whatever, right?
Right.
She has a few properties and stuff to sell. So I'm going to say they're kind of like a little power couple,
Yeah.
the hood and everything like that. She's upset that like he's a barber.
Okay.
So she's upset at stuff that one of his other businesses and stuff is a barbershop. And sometimes he might not leave the barbershop and stuff for like some time because some people just slide in last minute, or, and all. And he's like trying to make the cuts for the day.
Yeah.
And much as when it comes to holiday things, she's like, he knows I need my time. But I'm like, but you met him and he was like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that a her problem or is that a his problem?
I think it's a bit of both. It's a her problem because she needs to expect that this is how the bread and butter comes about.
Mm-hmm.
And you met him in that mode, right? Until he's and you have to have the understanding until he reaches that point where he needs not to grind so hard as much, he's probably going to be in that mode, right? On him is that you got to understand now.
You have to stop what you're doing to create time for this person.
Yeah, you got to.
But you met me like this.
But you know what? You could have easily said to yourself, I really don't have time for you. Like if I know that I'm grinding to that point.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
I have to understand that I don't have the time to share with somebody like that. And if I'm bringing somebody who is going to need that affection over that time, then I got to be willing to scale back some of what I do to provide it.
To protect your money. That's okay. I see. I see that angle.
Yeah.
Because I look at it stuff as where you met me like this. And this is what I was talking about even with the clubbing thing earlier in the episode.
Right.
You met me like this is who I am. Now you think because we're together now, I'm supposed to change. I want to, like, if I'm going to change, let it be on my own accord.
Right.
Let it for me to say, like, I'm going to slow down the hustle and all the above. But when I feel like you've come in here, you saw me like this and stuff, don't try to force my hand.
No. I don't think they should force your hand either, right? But at the same time, though, I think you should also look at it as, you know what? She's come into my life and she's accepted me as this hustle person. She's given up some of what she may want in order to be with me.
Or to capitalize. Because I would say, look at some of the, let's say these Fortune 500 guys or these high value men that might have like these low value women.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Like some of them and stuff would be like, okay, now I'm pregnant now. Now maybe you should start slowing down and stop doing these business trips and everything, like, because I'm pregnant, we're about to have a family. Be like, yo, I've always been this person.
Yeah.
You were attracted to this type of person, and now you expecting me to shift.
And you know what? I think it's also going to depend on the type of woman that you choose to marry, because some of these high value men have women that don't care if they're around or not. Just provide what you need to provide. And go ahead and do what you got to do.
Let it run. Shout out to the real champions. No, I always look at those women, like even the women who married rappers.
Yeah.
and musicians or entertainers and stuff like that. Because
Ballers especially.
Yeah.
Ballers especially. Like, listen, you know, half the season, dude is out of the town.
That's why I didn't like Lamar Odom and stuff like that, whatever. Like, as a hooper, I was digging him until, like, because the Courtney chick,
Right.
sorry, the Khloe Kardashian,
Right.
one season she made like 60-something games.
Yeah.
There's like 80-something games.
Yeah.
And you still find time to do fuckery?
Yeah.
I was like,
yeah.
use
You're
a dick.
Yeah, you're an
Use a
asshole.
dick.
You're an asshole at that point.
Use a dick.
Like this
Some of these people
is
like,
a supportive woman.
Yeah.
This is a supportive woman.
Use a dick. Use a dick. But yeah, like I don't know. You're the real ones to hold it down, because like I look at stuff as like, yeah, I was this baller, like you're saying, if I'm this sports person and stuff, whatever, I'm on the road most of the time. Like, I want you to stay home. How you gonna keep up this mansion? I have to go hoop. So I'm gonna go play in New York where the harlots are warm.
And I know we've said this, but again, if I'm entering into the NBA and like I ain't got no significant other, I'm not rushing to get any significant other at that point.
You want to be a PJ Washington, having babies like Brittany
Well, I
Renner?
ain't gonna be having babies like that. But
you want to be like,
I'm not going to lock myself in, because I know I'm gonna be on the road like half the time. Just like I can't put, and again, it's me recognizing that
you're
I'm
gonna
not
want a
going to be
raw
able
dog, man. You guys are gonna want a raw dog. You can't raw dog every chick on the road, so you're gonna want a raw dog.
Listen, you might have one that you have to come with to terms with,
and then
be like, hey,
you get into the court again, whatever. Like, yo, we have a family. You're always on the go.
No. She gotta understand. We're gonna write these things, and you gotta understand.
That's my argument.
Right.
I'm looking at him like, yo, you have to understand.
Right.
You met me like this.
Yeah.
I've been a go-getter. I've been doing the ones and twos.
Yeah.
You can't expect me to do this shift. Let me make this shift to say, like, all right, you know what? I'm not saying you don't mean that much to me and stuff like that, but I'm looking like, when I feel like my world's gonna slow down and stuff like that, then I'll be like, yeah, if you're still here, extra bonus. I appreciate you and stuff, whatever, right?
Right.
But I'm looking like, I'm out here making this money, and I think it will hurt too. Like, you're out here making all this money and stuff, whatever. And be like, I've lost love for you, but I'm gonna take half of your money with you because you weren't home and stuff, and I was lonely. But I met Chad, the pool guy, who always cleaned our pool, and he gets me more. So I'm gonna fuck Chad with your money because you were always on the go. Fuck out of here.
As I said, I wouldn't get married. I wouldn't get married.
Shout out to Chad, the pool guy. Yo, let's wrap this shit up.
Swimming in things other than the pool.
Hey, go Chad. All right, we are here at the end, folks. It's time for a little So Say the Suns. So Say the Suns this week.
Let's do it.
Simple as ever. Simple as ever. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Hold yourself accountable with your choices. So Say the Suns. It's self-explanatory stuff. It should be. I want to say throughout this week and stuff, myself personally, again, the friendship thing always had to come back, surface around to and fro.
Yeah.
And it was a choice where I had to make a choice to do something. And I stood by my choice of not doing it.
Okay.
And I hold myself fully accountable for my decision. And the person that I was speaking to and stuff, whatever, they try to, I guess, come with a Cry Me a River speech.
Right.
So to speak, as of like, are you sure you might regret this and blah, 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 whatever. I'm like, no, I'm going to hold myself firm to these choices. If it doesn't work out and stuff like that, whatever, oh, the hell, well, I'll pick up the pieces at that time. But to my knowledge, no. And I feel like a lot of people, we're still into times of wishy-washy feelings and decisions.
Right.
Ultimatums will break a person. Like if I say smooth, it's either this person or me. You have to choose. You're kind of on the clock.
Right.
But I look at the stuff as that like your overall bigger decisions and stuff, you have time to mull and choose.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you just happen to chose the wrong thing, you have to live with it.
Yeah.
I looked at it as stuff as where somebody like, you pay this credit card bill or your credit started to get fucked up. You made the choice by saying you're going to go kick it.
Right.
Don't be surprised when you see, oh, there's a dip in my credit score. Sucks to be you.
Sucks to be you.
So say the Suns, man.
So says us.
We appreciate you guys. Like, comment, subscribe, all the above, all streaming platforms possible. You can see these lovely faces on Spotify and YouTube as well. And once again, thank you for listening to the Podical Sons. Remember, the difference between genius and stupidity is that genius has its limits, while stupidity does not. You take care.
Run forever. Stupidity runneth.
You take care. You guys be well. Keep safe. And you can say any bye-byes to them. I know you want to do a little 1-2. You know you're decent today?
Not decent.
Oh, that's good.
Peace.
Flame on. All right.
The Podical Sons with Not Your Average Joseph and Sofa King Marvelous.